In news from Jamaica, U.S. firm New Fortress Energy has been given the nod of approval to construct a liquefied natural gas LNG terminal on the island. Upon completion, the plant will supply over 200,000 metric tons of natural gas to the national grid. More from Leslie Ann Sherwood.
The electricity sector enterprise team ESET is upbeat after a massive deal in its push to diversify Jamaica's energy mix. Head of ESET, Dr. Vincent Lawrence, has announced that U.S. firm New Fortress Energy will be investing over $200 million to build a liquefied natural gas LNG terminal on the island. The terminal is expected to be constructed in Rocky Point, Clarendon, and upon completion will supply the Jamaica Public Service, JPS, with 200,000 metric tons of LNG annually.
It involves building a terminal which they will own themselves. The contract that they are saying is a supply contract to JPS, power at the boundary fence of JPS. But the JPS had to be satisfied of the reliability and the security of supply. So there are issues related to storage, issues related to processing, and that's one of the reasons why the JPS itself was very strong on this storage and terminaling facilities. To ensure the reliability.
Dr. Lawrence explains that 6 entities submitted bids, but New Fortress Energy's proposal was the most convincing. He says JPS conducted its own due diligence and was equally impressed by the American energy firm.
Their proposals were based significantly on detailed engineering studies. Many of the other proposals were based upon desk studies. There was no doubt that they had gone into detail and had some commitment to getting the work done. Based with this JPS recommendation, ESET thereafter conducted its own assessment of the JPS recommendation and endorsed the selection of New Fortress to build, own, and operate the LNG terminal and grow the market for natural gas in Jamaica.
Under the deal, the LNG supplied by New Fortress Energy will be distributed to the new 190-megawatt gas-fired plant in Old Harbour, St. Catherine. Dr. Lawrence adds that during the negotiations, ESET advised that the gas plant should be expandable.
We also had another interest in the terminal and to being located because we believe it's in Jamaica's interest. We've been trying for 20 years to bring natural gas to deal with certain things in Jamaica. And so we believe it's also in our interest to have a facility that can expand and grow, a terminal facility. And so that's how, together, we've piggybacked more or less on the contract that we agreed that JPS should negotiate gas supply to ensure that Jamaica's future economic development will be secure as far as gas is concerned.
Dr. Lawrence says all remains on track and the terminal should be completed by the final quarter of 2017.
The plant is due to be finished by the fourth quarter of 2017, and the power plant is due to be ready at the beginning of 2018.
The ESET chairman, who was speaking at Wednesday's post-cabinet press briefing, also confirmed that the necessary environment protocols have been observed. I'm Leslie Ann Sherwood for CEEN Caribbean News.
Thanks, Leslie. And Spanish firm Bengoa will construct the new 190-megawatt power plant in St. Catherine. The new plant will replace the old 292 megawatts oil-dependent plant in Old Harbour, St. Catherine. Dr. Lawrence says the government remains resolved in its efforts to reduce electricity rates.
In this case, they had technical assistance from AMEC Foster Wheeler, and JPS has selected the Spanish firm Bengoa, whose power plant package consists of a General Electric GE combined cycle frame 6B gas turbine. Negotiations are presently underway to finalize a performance contract between JPS and Bengoa.
The new plant in St. Catherine will be combined with energy from renewable sources and cogeneration facilities from Pan-Caribbean Company and bauxite companies. Dr. Lawrence says the final electricity price to the grid will be less than US 13 cents. That would mean at least a 30% cut in light bills. And bauxite company Jamaica is reviewing its decision on whether to build a coal plant or switch to natural gas.
the high interest in providing gas to Jamaica, and now with the selection of a gas bidder, Jamalco has asked to assess the issue of whether they should build a coal plant or go to gas. And so they are being allowed another 2 to 3 weeks to have discussions with the possible gas supplier and for a final decision to be taken. This period will not affect the scheduling that we have proposed for what should happen at Jamalco. As a matter of fact, if they switch to gas, we would have a 2-year rather than a 3-year construction period, and the capital costs would be significantly less on that basis.